I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I'm really excited to bring to you a review on the Marsupial Gear enclosed Bino harness, along with some of the accessories that I've decided to add on to this, and tell you just how cool of a system I think Marsupial Gear has come up with. For the binocular harness itself, you're looking at about $135, and then from there, you can build out whatever accessory set you would like. So as you can see here, I have their hand warmer muff, I've got a rangefinder pouch, and then I have a small accessory pouch on this. Now you can do all sorts of stuff. So Marsupial Gear, their kind of saying is, we have a pouch for that, which means they make an accessory or a way to hook on an accessory onto your binocular harness setup for whatever needs you may have. That could be eyeglasses cases, bear spray, handgun, rangefinder, small accessory. They make a large accessory pouch, which would fit like a cell phone, things like that. They have an attachment that can hook up here that can put a Garmin InReach onto the setup. They have a really, really well thought out system of accessories that can hook on and can make this a run and gun kind of complete setup to where if you drop your bag, you still have plenty of accessories on you. Now, with this hand warmer muff, this is something that I would definitely not run all the time, but in very late season cold weather hunts, tree stand hunts, anything where I'm going to be doing prolonged glassing or sitting, I would definitely recommend getting this. You can run this hand warmer muff not on the binocular harness if you do want to take it off. It does come with its own strap setup, so you can just run this as, its own little hand warmer muff. And this thing is nice. They have a wind stopper material on this so that the wind isn't getting through to your knuckles and to your hands. If you drop a little hot hands pack in this thing, it becomes an absolute oven, which is really big for me when I'm up tree stand hunting because I can cinch down the sides on this hand warmer muff, throw my handheld release in there, let it stay warm, not get all frozen and cold, make sure that all the action and stuff on it still works nice and clean, and when I'm ready, just slip my hand in, grab it, pull it out, when I hear something coming in, and get ready for that shot. The hand warmer muff does have a front zippered pouch on it that can fit a cell phone or anything like that, and then like I said, it cinches down on the sides. I found this to be really, really water resistant. I have not got water from the outside in, so I would feel totally comfortable in a snowstorm. If it's absolutely just dumping rain all day, I would imagine some water would make it through, but barring that situation, you're going to be totally fine wearing this, going through the brush, heading out to wherever you're going to hunt. And when it comes to the binocular harness itself, the fully enclosed setup, it is on the side, as you can see here, a full enclosure. So there's not going to be water, there's not going to be perspiration, going through the bushes and having snow come down and fall in there into your eye cups. None of that's going to happen. This is a magnetic seal, which I've found to actually work really, really well. I like the magnetic seal because it's quiet. I'm going to release a binocular review series here in the next few weeks that's going to go through a bunch of different brands. And one thing I found out is this closure setup can really make a lot of noise, and it can also not be very secure depending on the company that you're going with. And I also really like that this opens away from your body because that makes it to where it's easy to pull the binoculars up one-handed. Other binocular pouches open up towards your body, which makes it a lot harder because then it's a two-handed job. You kind of have to hold the top of the binocular harness out of the way and then pull the binoculars up. So you've got a little tab here that you just pull and open this. It magnetizes down here to the bottom, which I have heard some people say they have issues with. I have not had any issues with it. Now, when you add the hand warmer muff on down here, it does make it a little bit tighter of a fit. I mean, if you just let it go, it connects almost all the time, but I'm sure there's some times where maybe this could be pushed up if you're sitting down or whatever. But if you are moving it slow and want to make sure it doesn't slap anyways and get quick movement, you can get it to seal every time. This front fabric does stretch a tiny bit. So when I first got it, I have a pair of Swarovski EL 10x42 binoculars in here with the eye cups fully extended. These do not fit with the eye cups fully extended in certain binocular pouches. The Sitka one is one that comes to mind. They just don't make a size that this fits in. Now this is the small binocular harness to fit these. And when I first got it, it was fairly tight when you would go to close the setup for getting the magnets to connect. But now this is slightly stretched up in here as I've used it, and I don't have that issue anymore. The inside of the binocular harness is a very nice kind of suede, soft fabric material, not something that's gonna scratch up your binoculars or cause any issues there. And the back plate on this that goes against your chest is a very firm feeling, so it keeps this upright, doesn't feel like your chest is pushing in or that the binoculars are digging into your body. Kind of protects them from that moisture, like I said, when you're hiking. Now this did come with some straps that would hook down here to the binoculars to like a drop safe type thing, but I don't run those because I use a tripod so much for glassing. I prefer them just to be free in here, which leads to another issue with certain bino harnesses, but not this one. When you close this down, you want to make sure it gets a good seal, because if I'm leaning forward and my binoculars can push this open and fall out if I'm crawling or doing something like that, on a stalk, that would be really bad. I have full confidence that this will seal and not open up as I'm leaning, crawling, doing, laying down to shoot a long shot with a rifle. Whatever the case is, this stays firm to the body. The material on this, I'll kind of drag my fingertips across right now. Not the quietest, but definitely not the loudest. So it's a kind of a soft touch fabric. I really like the feeling of it. It has a little bit of a cushion to it. Make sure that if something, if you got the bino harness off inside the rig and, something gets dropped on it, tripod falls onto it or something, it's not going to crack your binoculars inside there. It's a little bit heavier fabric, so there are some lighter weight binocular harnesses on the market, but I would definitely not say this is the heaviest. It's kind of a middle of the line material when it comes to weight, but the feeling I really like. It's got a really good protective coating. This is stretchy. All the outside fabric on this is nice and stretchy, which I found for going through thick, I live in Western Washington, so thick, brushy, shallal, stickers, that kind of stuff. They kind of grab and then just slip right off. The material moves with it so they don't get a good bite and tear the binocular harness. I've got the rangefinder pouch over here, which also is magnetized. Opens up, magnetizes open. This slips out nice and easy. I've got a little tether hooked onto there. You can range find if this falls out of your hands, no big deal. And then you can just slip it back in nice and easy and close. One nice thing with the magnetic closures is you don't really have to look down to make sure that you're getting it closed. You can kind of feel it suction when it gets that good bite. And if you go to close it and you don't feel that suction on there, that you may not have as good of a closure on it. On this side, I've got the small pouch, like I said, so you could fit some reeds or different things in the front that you want quick access to, that you don't want to have to use a zipper. And then they've got two little parts right in here that would work great for rifle ammunition. And then I've got like a knife sharpener that I've been running in there, a Havalon blade changing helper, and a chapstick. But obviously you could put whatever you want into this. The small one is not big enough to fit like a normal iPhone-sized phone, so you would want the large one, in my opinion, if you were going to try and fit a phone in here. On the left side, I'm carrying a Benchmade knife, And then on the right side over here of the binocular harness, I've got my earplugs. And I've found that these little pockets on the side, they are stretchy. The top elastic is tight enough that, like, the earplugs, I'm definitely not worried they're gonna fall out, but they're not so tight that trying to get your fingers in there is such a pain that, you know, you can't get them out. I can do this without looking at it. I can get these to come up and pop out my earplugs pretty quickly compared to other binocular harnesses where you're going to have to two-handed, you know, stretch it out and try and get your fingers in there to get whatever you have in. Last but not least, you've got the front pouch on this, and it, you know, could hold whatever you want to put in there. This is normally where I'm running my tags. And then on the back side, there is also a little pouch, and I've got my dope sheet for my rifle inside of that. This one is not zippered, so I would not recommend running my tags in the back one because they could potentially fall out, you know, and depending on what you're doing, crawling and that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to the back setup right here, I do like the shoulder straps. I think that they come, so one problem I run into with certain companies, and I'm fairly narrow shoulders, not a big wide chest or anything. So a lot of times this strap will be over about right here, and that makes it to where it's running right down my shoulder blade, which when I'm grabbing and moving is very, very uncomfortable. This fits right inside of the shoulder blade on my back, and it seems to stay there, which is a big deal. I really, really like the shoulder strap setup on this. It keeps this up higher on my chest, so it's not bagging way down. If I put my hands in here and I'm, you know, holding on to the Bino harness and glassing and doing whatever, I don't have to worry about this slipping and moving and then getting onto that shoulder blade and having to constantly readjust the Bino harness. I've run into that, like I said, with a few others, and it sucks. This one, don't have that issue. Also, when talking about keeping the shoulder straps steady on your body, I want to throw in the fact that these buckles right here are the non-slip style of buckle, which is a really, really good feature. A lot of binocular harnesses do not come with this. You have to push this button right here if you want to pull the strap farther out and loosen it, which means once I find where I want that tightness on my body, about here, it's going to stay. It will not move until you push that button and release so that you can get that movement. It's another reason why this binocular harness stays on my back and up on my chest the way I want it. Once I lock it in, it's there. So I really have been impressed with the Marsupial Gear Bino harness system that they have. Again, the hand warmer muff, if you don't want to run it, you don't have to. There's other accessories you can add down here, or you can run it just the Bino harness itself. I think if you're looking for a Bino harness, this is one of the very best on the market. It is the best if you're trying to do a full system and want to be able to hook accessories onto it. I don't think that there's another company that offers as good of a variety and good of quality for the accessories as Marsupial Gear. So I hope you liked this review of the Marsupial Gear Bino harness. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. I'm going to be releasing a video that goes over quite a few of the top Bino harnesses on the market right now. I'll give a breakdown of my opinion of those, and then let you decide, you know, next to each other which one you think is the best. But for me, this is going to be what I go to if I want accessories out there in the field with me, hooked to the Bino harness. I will be looking no other place than Marsupial Gear.